Now, former Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan has cautioned politicians against generating negative energies and creating bitterness towards the forthcoming general election, as it would not bring development to the country. Jonathan gave the warning while inaugurating a 1.15-kilometer Afi-Uko Intige Bridge in Umbo local government area of Akwa Ibom State. According to him, politics of bitterness hinders development, as he called on politicians to market their politics with ideas rather than fight, insult, and abuse their opponents. This statement is coming amidst the bickering between the two leading presidential candidates of the All Progressive Congress and the People's Democratic Party. Joining us for this conversation is Arise analyst Kayode Otitoju. I want to say good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes. So, former President Goodluck Jonathan has spoken and said they should market ideas as against going for the jugular. Do you think politicians will heed to this call by a statesman?
Well, they too, the presidential candidate, aspiring to be statesman or statesmen.
Yeah, as the case may be.
They should heed the advice, because it's when politics is played the way it should be played, or the way it is being played in Western world. It's then that we can, have peace and peaceful election and acceptable election. The president used the commissioning of the bridge, in reaching out to, various people who are contesting for election, specifically the people who are contesting for presidential election, that it shouldn't be do or die. That in keeping with the spirit of Waziri, of the Second Republic, politics without bitterness, it's when you do that. I think one Ayegbunam Ngozi actually now published a book titled Politics Without Bitterness, where he really, espoused all the things that makes, politics being played without bitterness. The former president is not the only one that has been hammering, Archbishop Kuka has, preached this. Then the leaders, the peace committee, they have preached this, and
but these politicians are not hearing, because they've been mudslinging, calling people stingy.
You're right. I don't know.
Making references to in fact, health issues.
I think I can't really imagine presidential candidate troubleshooting. If the attack dogs are, troubleshooting, where we say yes, they are. But when the candidate himself now started throwing, mods, and action and reaction is always equal and opposite. Yeah. So when you troubleshoot, then the recipient may fight back, even in the more fierce, force.
So, Mr. Otitoju, earlier you made reference to the standard that's being set by the West. But a lot of people are actually saying that the strategies that are being deployed by these candidates are similar to what Donald Trump used. So the one is called the dead cat strategy, which is when a candidate successfully changes the subject of anything by distracting from the original topic. Then, of course, the other strategy that Donald Trump was notorious for is making caricatures out of his opponents. And they were hugely successful strategies for him. And it was successful. So do you think that it's maybe time for us to move from campaigns being issue-based to possibly being more personality-based? Is Nigeria there yet?
I'm happy Aaron is here this morning because there was one boxer, Leonard Ray Lona. Ray Lona. Anyway, it's a very fast, punch. So what he does, as he's fighting you, he will be teasing you and be gesticulating.
Sugar Ray Leonard.
Merci beaucoup.
Yes.
He will taunt you. He will do everything to get you annoyed. So when he knows that, you have increased your dander, he will not punch you and give you quick blow. And that was how he, was, defeating his opponent. Some politicians still believe they should use that strategy. But it worked for Leonard. It may not work for...
Work for Donald Trump.
And work for probably, Donald. But in Nigeria, where you think you have the scrotus of your opponent in your hand, you must be joking. The opponent may have the whole head, your head, in his hand. Okay? So people should just listen to the word of elders and make this game playing in the way Atiku has been playing. I give that to Atiku. You can never see Atiku throwing punches. No. You may throw punches at him. It is attack dogs that we answer. But he has maintained that statesmanly composure, So let other, foreigners, imitate him.
But you look at this, and sometimes when you see soft targets, when you see the belly of a man exposed, the temptation is always there.
Don't use sport.
You're the one who took it there.
The temptation is always there to probably land a punch. Permit me to still make a sports metaphor here. Now, because the question is this. We've seen candidates usually go after other candidates, especially when it comes to exposés about what they've done in their past. What their health status, and we've seen all this play out. That it's almost too tempting to resist the opportunity to probably hit on those issues. Is this something that is okay to still do, because these are germane issues that will ultimately, because the health of probably a president should play a huge role. We've even seen it in other crimes whereby their health status, their past lives,
their marital status,
divorce, a lot of things come to the fore. We're seeing President Joe Biden right now. He's in the eye of the storm. No thanks to what he did as a vice president, not as a president. So you look at all this, and sometimes some people say it's fair game, and let's do this because maybe this man, or in the case of Hillary and Donald Trump, as Donald Trump was saying, that Hillary wasn't competent enough. And he just kept on ringing that in, with the whole FBI coming to testify, ringing it in. And ultimately, some would say, maybe that was a turning point.
You want me to talk?
Yes, please do.
You see, when it comes to health matters, it's only God and you that know the status of your health status. It's not, directly related to your age or proportional to, how many years you have spent. You see some people, like Obasanjo is 85. If he engages you in boxing, I doubt if you will beat him. You get my point?
I get your point.
All right? Whereas you will see some people just above 40. When you see them, you will think they are healthy, but they are not healthy. Why do people just die? You hear someone 50 years, he just died, because of something he had been hiding from the public. And now, hit him away. So I would rather advise that the politicians should leave that aspect. More so that during the time of primaries, the parties must have done due diligence before they say, this is our candidate.
Do they?
I say must have done due diligence.
Okay.
Before they allow, all the aspirants to contest, and in the end they say, this is our candidate. Okay? When the public, push you here and there for some time, and they can't get more than what they could get from you on those, aspect of life, like age and whatever. Let's leave that. Let's face issues. What are the problems that we want you to address? Water, light, education, and whatever, which all of you have already put in your manifesto. How do you want to handle it different from Mr. B? How do you want to handle it different from Mr. C? This is what we should concentrate now, on in the remaining 1.5 months, that we have before the election. I think we should just leave the area of my age, my health. We have flunked that enough. Let's see what will be beneficial. Like yesterday, I listened to, Peter Obi. I was spellbound. Okay? I didn't like the aspect where I was reading this thing. It was so boring and incoherent. But when it came to the question and answer, then you now see the obeying him.
On that note, Mr. Kayode Otitoju, thank you so much for this insight. I think this is a conversation we hope to continue having.